Right, here we go again. Tuesday night this time. That's a new one, isn't it? Hopefully it'll be all right. Mondays are crap anyway. Has anyone had a good day? Everyone had a good day? I've had a bit of a rubbish day actually. You know, in lockdown you're sometimes like, oh, no, today's not for me. It's just not for me today. Bit of foliage. This is actually a Virgin Mary, for those who are interested today. I didn't have the bloody element. For that reason, it's a little bit crap. But anyway, here we go. Some of you have already noticed my new piece of set. That was gifted to me by Jamie, my husband. Look at that, on air. That's us now. I'm a little bit early as well because I just want to make sure that I'm kind of ready to go. How is everyone? Hi. Oh, what are you drinking? I just said it. Hello. 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 Welcome. Gosh, it's going to be an exciting one today. By the way, how funny is that video, that photo that I posted yesterday of me and Nick on the front of Bliss magazine? What are those eyelashes about? The individual ones? Oh my God. Absolutely hilarious. I couldn't believe it. I was at my mum's and I found she's done a scrapbook and I've taken some photos, so I will share some others because there is some absolute gold on there. And it was just funny, I thought I'd share it with you. But yeah, it's had a great reaction. So yeah, the lashes, oh my God, what was that? That wasn't even a thing. It was never a thing. Oh God. Right, so let's see if my guest is ready and waiting. No. Okay, so today I am having a conversation with an amazing actress. She's got a kind of a different story to me, and that's why I'm excited. Oh no, I haven't put my ring light on. Oh, here it is. There you go. Now I'm beautiful. Ugh, should I start again or? Well, I've done it now, so here we go. Anyway, yes, Louisa. I mean, I should do an introduction when she's ready to join the chat. This is the thing about being a bit early. I feel like now I'm introducing her too soon. But anyway, we worked together. I actually worked with her on a film called Fractured that I co-produced with our production company, Jumpstart Productions. And here she is, hold on. So, she was amazing because she came onto the project really late. I think it was like a few days before, and she only found out on the plane over from LA that the character spoke near perfect Swedish. She found that out on the plane. So yeah, she was amazing, and we were all blown away by her talent and her commitment and just the fact that she was so up for being part of what we were doing, and it was amazing. So I'm really excited to have Louisa because she started EastEnders as Ruby Allen when she was 16. I think, I'll check that with her, but I think she was 16, depending on when her birthday was. She was in the show for 2 years, and then she had a big hiatus of about 12 years where she went off and did other projects and went to LA, and now she is back in EastEnders. She's back on Albert Square and she's back playing Ruby. So I just think that's a really angle for my show that we haven't had yet, and I can't wait. And she's had the most amazing. Ow, I'm talking about you. No,
it's really nice to hear. You continue.
Okay, one sec. I'm just going to say the thing about your storyline, which was about sexual violence and sexual assault and consent, because it was just amazing. It must have been such an honour and a privilege to carry a storyline like that, and you were just amazing. So I'm very thrilled to see your face, number one.
I've not seen you in so long.
I know. And also, it's not even because of lockdown. It's just because we haven't seen each other in so long.
No.
How is it? Is it all right being back at work and all of that?
Yeah, I was really nervous because obviously we're very tactile as actors. So to be told you're gonna record a TV show where there are stunt scenes, fight scenes, kissing scenes, but at a social distance, we were like, how is this gonna work? But yeah, it's fine. I'm probably safer at work than I am in Sainsbury's.
Yeah, totally.
Totally, yeah. And it's honestly, some of the tricks and the things that they're using, I'm not sure how much I can say, if I'm honest, are amazing. Right. You will watch an episode of Eastenders and just think it's a normal episode of Eastenders.
That's incredible. Oh my God, I'm so jealous that you're getting out the house. Oh my God.
I know.
You must be like, yes, I'll come back.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll be the first one back.
Okay, so for some of the international followers and some people who might not know, can you please just tell me about Ruby from your point of view? So who is she to you and who is she as part of Eastenders?
Okay, so my first job whilst I was still at school, I was 15 years old, was Eastenders, playing Ruby Allen. So I first of all went into the show, this was like 16, I'm 31 now, so you do the maths. A very long time ago. Mm-hmm. So I went in as the gangster's daughter. So I went into the show with my dad at the time, and he sort of pretty much took over the square, which is like the famous setting in EastEnders. And yeah, I was a young character. I was a schoolgirl. You know, I had boyfriend problems and the things that you go through as a 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. I was there for 2 years. But they killed off my dad, so I left as well in a taxi, as you do. And that was it. That was, over 15 years ago. And then I got the call to go back.
What on earth is that? The time goes so quickly, doesn't it? I missed my first question, which is, Louisa, are you Ruby Allen? But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So I think my main kind of formal question, as opposed to just catching up, is I can't imagine what it would be like if someone said to me now, you need to go back into Skins and play the character that you played, oh my God, I can't do the maths, 13 years ago.
Wow.
Well, it was 2007 was the first series. I'm sure someone can tell me. But anyway, like what would that be like, going back to that character and having to think about what's happened to them in that gap? And just from an acting point of view, what was it like having to come back and reincarnate the same character 12 years later? I guess
what is great about the time frame that we've not been in either show is actually you are going back as a different character. Right. If I think of myself now as a 15-year-old to who I am now, I am a total different person.
Yeah.
So in a way, you are going back with the same foundations and you're coming from the same family. And, you know, for me, for example, she is still a daughter of a gangster, and she's lost her mum and she's lost her dad, and she's pretty much been an orphan, I guess, ever since. So it's easier because you're not sat there thinking, oh my God, I've got to think of all the traits that she had. You're a different person. It's 15 years later. But what's been great is going back to the show so many years on, obviously the story team and the writers have dug into their files, and they do keep bringing up things that from all that time ago. So it's really nice because obviously she has such a history with characters that are now still in the show, i.e. Stacey.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You mean they filled in some blanks?
Yeah,
then you're like, oh, really, remember that time? Oh, wow.
And that's been really nice, actually, because although I feel like I've come back as a new character, there's always constant reminders that, you know, you've been here before and you're sort of part of the furniture already. So that's been really, really good.
So they've kind of done the work for you in the time that you were not there. You may as well have still been there.
Yeah, like before I went back, I had a phone call with the exec producer at the time and sort of said, you know, where do you want me to place her? Who do you want her to be? Because when I was there as a child, I was very naive and, you know, but he said, no, I want her to come back and be sassy and confident and independent and all these things, because you've got to see how she's stood on her own 2 feet for 15 years. Yeah. So I've got lots of money and she owns businesses and she, you know, so it's, I probably prefer her now than I did back then.
Right, okay.
It's more about her now, but obviously because you have more life experience as a person.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, my next question is actually, obviously when you were so young, you were straight out of drama school, weren't you? You
Yeah,
just
I was still at school. I went
oh
to
wow.
singing theatre school
So at the
while I had
time,
a
that
job.
must have been like, haha, I've got a great job and this is so great. I just want to know that experience of getting the job the first time and everything that comes with, like I've discussed about, you know, people that you were kind of on the periphery of your life and then they're suddenly like, oh, my friend April. And you're like, what? I haven't seen you for years and now you're my friend. Like that whole thing. Did you experience that the second time round, or was it kind of like the people that you know, as an adult, you were like,
no one cares about me now. They're like, no, I don't know her, I don't know her.
Yeah,
total different experience. I think as a child, and at a point when I went into EastEnders, it was 16 to 18 million viewers.
Wow.
It was huge. It was before Netflix. It was before reality TV. If you were in a soap, everybody, even if they didn't know the show, knew you.
Yeah.
Because you were on the front of magazines and you were everywhere. So this time round, which is actually really nice, because I'm an adult now, I can, apart from social media, you kind of want more of your personal life to yourself and all of those things. So going back into the show now, and I still love it as much, but naturally, because of the way TV has gone, you know, we're on 5 to 6 sometimes million viewers now. So naturally it is a different show. So it feels like a total different job in that respect, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think it is what I mean. I think it's also kind of the impact that it has on you, having, because you now know how to deal with it. You sort of have the experience of like, you know, 100%. When you're so
and as
young.
far as friends and all the rest of it, you know, when you get to this age, having a job is just about paying your bills.
Yeah.
So the whole, you know, the excitement that used to come when we were that age, not the same. People were just like, thank God you're working.
Thank God I've got a job. So I guess that kind of nicely leads me on to the hiatus that you had, and obviously that's when we met, and you know, you were looking for other projects, and at the time you were in LA. So when I met you in
it sounds very fancy.
It does sound so fancy. But I think my experience, and you can tell me about yours, but my experience was, I thought, okay, well, Skins has set me up forever. I can walk out of this show and I can just walk into anything and I can get an agent like that, and you know, I'm on top of the world. And actually that wasn't how it worked for me. It was I was walking into an already saturated market that is even more saturated now. And it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks that I was not as important as I thought I was. A, you think you're quite important when you're a teenager. And B, you know, the success of the show and what was happening to some of the other people. I was like, well, I can go and win an Oscar. Come on, I can be like Dev in Slumdog Millionaire and I can go and win an Oscar as well. And it just didn't happen that way. So when you came out of EastEnders as such a young person, did you think, right, cool, well, I'm going to LA and I'm going to be in... Oh, and you were, obviously. You did do some big Hollywood movies. So just tell me about how that was for you.
It's interesting. So when I left EastEnders, so it's different for me and you. You left the show with lots of other young actors at the same time, and I guess it was a bit of a rat race as to who gets what next. When I left EastEnders, I was, you know, you're not leaving with anybody else. However, when I left EastEnders, I was nearly 17. All of my friends that I went to drama school with were still at college. They were still training.
Oh, yeah.
I was out in the big wide world on my own. So yeah, it was really, really scary. And I remember when I knew I was leaving the show, I was sat with my 2 best friends that are performers. Like that evening they came to mind because I was distraught. You know, it's like when you're 15. Oh, my life is ended. And I was like, what do I now do? Do I now go to college? Like, it's a really strange time. Anyway, luckily for me, I went straight on to Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah.
Which really helped, and you know, it wasn't the show it is now. It's massive now. It's like life-changing now.
It was still pretty massive for me back then, to be honest.
Yeah, but I did that, and then I went straight into The Bill for 2 years, and then so I was on a roll from leaving EastEnders. So I didn't really get that feeling until about 5 years later, when all of a sudden it was really difficult to be seen by casting directors, and I was told at the time it's because you did a soap. And I thought, But it's a really popular TV show. Like, what's the problem with that? And there is a bit of stigma, and you know, back then people used to say it's because you're typecast, because so many people know you for one character. It's hard to break that. But yeah, for me, it was quite a few years later that I thought this is not as easy as I thought it would be.
Right. Right.
And I have been lucky, and I've been to America, and I've been to Canada, and had some amazing experiences. But then on the other hand, I've gone without work for a year. I've gone and got, you know, what they call a normal job. But I think it's all part of the process. Like, I don't, even during those times, yes, it's stressful, but it's not really like.
Do you ever feel like, because I have this thing of like, my first thing, and it's the same for you, but I feel like my first thing being such a huge success, and then like everything has to match that. Everything has to be as good as that, or it's not successful, or it's not good enough.
But what I realise is it never will be, because that was your first job.
Yeah, really good point. That's a great point.
Because I've now gone back to EastEnders, which was that first job.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't feel the same for me, because it's not the first time.
Right.
So,
that's so interesting.
It's not the first job, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Kind of like a first love, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you're that young as well, you're like, oh God, I'll never get over this. And then of course you do, and you're marrying a lovely man, and I'm married, and you know, you move on, don't you?
Because when we met, we were in a very different situation. Well, you wasn't, I was.
Yeah. You lucked out though.
I think that's what you have to hold on to. And it's only that I've gone back to EastEnders that I've realised, oh yeah, this feels like home. Like, this was what put me on the map. Of course, I'm always going to be thinking, you know, I'd love to go and do a Netflix show now. Who wouldn't? Yeah. But in this game, you're just lucky to have a job.
100%. 100%. So many, especially at the moment, so many of our contemporaries, our friends even, are, you know, doing the pay the bills job, because who knows when the arts is going to get some more funding, and the theatres and the blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just terrifying. And that's it's weird, because it's almost like a leveler, because I feel like it's been me on my own, just out of work for years.
And now you're going, oh yeah.
And now, everyone's in the same boat. So that's okay. It's not just me, you know?
Don't you feel like lockdown? I mean, and I still technically had a job, even though I wasn't working. It was, for all my friends, it just took the pressure off.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you didn't have to worry about auditions, and you weren't working because, well, we're in lockdown. And that was a really nice feeling. And that's what made me think, like, next time round, when I'm not working, you know, I always sort of find a part-time job or something else, because I can't just sit still.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put that much pressure on myself, because actually this is quite nice just to be. And
it's that trait, it's that actor's thing, isn't it? It's always needing the next thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And, you know, even if it's like the next audition, you think, okay, well, I've done a really great tape, and I've got that in the bag. Of course, you never hear anything, you didn't get it. So then you're like, oh, well, where's the next one? Where's the next one? And this experience has really been so, like I said, leveling. It's just like, actually, I do want to grow tomatoes in my back garden, and that's okay for today. I don't need to. Happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mainly I'll be watching you and Ben cooking beef rendang. You know, that's my new pastime.
We had this really great idea to do all these cooking videos, and basically it ended up being me nagging Ben, when are we next going to do the cooking video? Have a bit of a problem, so I was like, let's just stop. let's just do two and leave it at that. We're going to do one a month. I mean, let's see. Yeah.
Well, that will work for me. Yeah. So I think I've got probably one more question that's like a formal one from me, and that is, what is it about this industry that keeps you part of this industry? And,
I don't know. I ask myself all the time.
I know, same. I'm like, what? Literally, me and Jamie had the conversation today. Like, should we just? It was like, should we just not do this and like open up a mac and cheese shop in Brighton and just like, I mean, wouldn't that be great? Like one speciality, and that's just it.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is the essence of it that you don't do your part-time job and you're just like, see ya, I'm done?
I think it's, and this is really sad, but the pressure of, or what we think of, what everyone will think.
Yeah.
I've come up with some
Interesting.
amazing ideas for businesses, and I know I really enjoy them. And you know what? If they took off, I wouldn't need to act. But there's a part of me that just cannot. I love it. I love my job. First and foremost, I love it. But when you're talking about in the times of you can't get an audition and no one will see you and you can't pay your bills, and what keeps me there, and I do sometimes think it's the worry of other people. I don't really know.
Interesting.
Or it's well, I was in this position before and then something come along.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
constantly waiting for that phone call because you've had it before. The same this time around with going back to Eastenders. I was done. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't wait for the phone to ring. It's giving me anxiety. And then my agent texts me saying, Eastenders have called. And I was like, yeah. Because obviously it was like a lifetime later. And then now I'm back again. And I'm in the same position and I'm doing it all again. So it's mad.
I think for me...
I think it's that. I don't really know.
Well, I think if someone asked me, I'd have to say I think it's part of my identity. I feel like it's part of who I am. And so if I stop doing it, then who am I? It would be a really scary place. And a bit like, you know, your experience, it's been who you've identified as since your formative teenage years. So I think even if I was working as a florist, I'd still be an actor working as a florist. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I could ever shut that door.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Maybe because we were so young. Maybe because we were so young.
Maybe.
So I don't know any different. I can't remember really life before being an actor because I was at school. And who was I when I was 12? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I was actually...
We're still going. We're still here.
I know. Just plodding away. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't remember. It was on a videotape. When I was 3, I did a performance at my great-grandmother's care home. And I think I might have even been on a table. And in the video, I end my performance and I'm like, clapping time. Clapping time to all of the old folks. It's like, even back then, it was part of
it's in
what
you.
I was doing.
It has to be in you because I think, you know, I know some amazing actors and performers and they haven't continued because for whatever reason, whereas I feel like to put up the fight for this many years, it has to be like something that you're so passionate about.
Yeah, and it is a fight. It's a fight. You're right.
You're basically in battle.
I mean, kind of mainly with yourself and your own mind.
Yeah. I don't mean, my life's so hard. I mean, it's hard when you're getting knocked back after knockback after knockback.
Yeah.
There's only so much your self-esteem can really take.
Yeah, it's just shocking. I've got a couple of questions from people who have been really lovely and sent some stuff in. So Tammy X 1999 and La Vida Laura, cute, kind of have the same question, which is, what would your dream storyline be for Ruby on EastEnders?
For Ruby, interesting. So I literally was saying this at work today.
Oh, interesting.
I think because I have done a storyline that sort of opened her up to women feeling like she's part of the sisterhood, i.e. the consent storyline. I was saying at work today, like, it would be really nice to follow on with that because I do feel like she's a character that women now can relate to and feel, you know, that they gain something from, maybe.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And you did so many amazing things. Like,
I mean, because of the storyline that I did. So I would like to continue with that. So I'd like to do something maybe surrounding. Oh God, I don't even know if I'm going to be saying this. It's not set in stone. This is my idea. Like surrounding maybe miscarriage or just a topic.
Something that's like a taboo topic that then you can normalise.
That we can normalise, yeah. Because I think it works. She's a 30-odd-year-old, you know, character in the show. Maybe something, basically, another.
It really, I mean, your consent storyline really did feel like a moment. Like, it felt like so many people responded to it. It was the way that you were presented in the media as well, when you were doing interviews about it, like, no one was shying. It wasn't kind of, oh, well, you know, Louisa's got a slightly you know, controversial storyline, you were out there on This Morning, you were doing newspaper articles, and you were, it was received so well. So I think something like that would definitely be.
They did it so well because it sort of came out of nowhere. I literally was back on screen for like 4 episodes, and then it happened.
Oh wow!
So it just came out of no. Honestly, it was a bit like, who is this character and what has just happened to her?
What a gift!
Which was good, because at the time I remember being like, no one's going to care because no one knows the character. Like, and sometimes if you don't care about the character, you don't really
true.
Obviously would care about that, but you know what I mean. But that's why it works, because you didn't really know who this character was, so they weren't trying to play out the storyline with a, you know, like one of the most popular. It was exactly how it would be if you read it in the newspaper. Like, you don't know who this person is, and you don't really know what's happened, and it's your take on it. You know, what you believe is right and wrong, and whose fault was it, and all of those things. So yeah, that was really good.
Amazing. What good answer. I hope that answers your question. What's Ellie-Ann Mack says, what's your favourite project that you've been in? And if you don't say Fractured, I will be offended.
Yeah, Fractured. By the way, when you said about finding out on the plane about talking Swedish, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that. I love the fact that you couldn't even speak to us. You were just up in the sky, 32,000 feet, and you were like, what is going on?
So let me explain what happened. I read the script, but I missed that part. I think, how did I miss that? I can't really remember.
Well, it was probably written in English, and it just said in the stage directions, she speaks near perfect Swedish, and then the lines would have been written in English.
In England.
Yeah.
So I'd obviously read the script and missed that bit. Anyway, and I remember being on the plane and reading that, thinking, I can't do this job. I'm on the plane now. I was like, what am I going to do when I land? I can't do this job. Do I just pretend that I missed my flight? Like, I didn't know what to do.
Oh my God.
But it was, we did it.
I mean, yeah. And actually my Swedish friend Sandra came to see one of the screenings in London. She was like, it's not the accent or the performance, it's what's actually being said that doesn't make sense in one of the lines. And I was like, in one of the lines, the girl was on the plane over the Atlantic.
Yeah.
It's one line out of however many. I'll take it.
I'm glad she said that. At least she wasn't like, what was she talking about?
No, exactly. And also you had Jordan, whose character actually was Swedish. The character of Alva was part Swedish. And he was sitting next to you in the back of the car, just absolutely knocking you out of the park. So the fact that and I'm not, how many, did you land and come straight down to Brighton?
Yeah,
or did you have a day?
Brighton. I can't really remember. I think.
Oh my God.
I must have gone home. Came straight.
You blocked it out. It's so traumatic. You've blocked it out.
Yeah. No, I just didn't. I just had a moment when you said it. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I totally forgot about that. But how much fun was it? It's so, to be honest, it's so nice to work on a project like that. Like, it's someone's baby for a start.
Yeah.
And then we just created it together. Like, I remember the night shoots that we did. So the last night of filming, I think we basically, obviously all the windows are blacked out because it's now probably like, I don't know, 4 a.m. and it's daylight outside. And we were just like, we had to get it done. No one tell us what the time is. No, do you remember? And we just
and it was a fight. Lou, we were literally like fighting each other. Oh I smashed your head with a sugar glass vase.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Freddie's. Do you remember Freddie and Mel from Sweeting Lane?
Yeah.
Freddie's just written the food was great on that set.
It was. It really was.
It was. It was one of the things, you know, when you're so knackered and suddenly she just drives up in a coffee van and you're like, I love you.
Yeah. It was so great. We need to.
Anyway, that's not the answer. Tell me what your favourite project you've worked on is.
Favourite project? It's really hard because whenever I answer this question, I always say Strictly, and obviously that's not even an acting job. But maybe that's why. That for me is like that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. It was the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like, it's just something I will forever be grateful for.
Is it? So it's probably more about how it made you feel as opposed to
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so jealous. How do you get me on that show? I had Danny Harmer on last week, and she was like, "I've done Strictly." I was like, God,
I know.
why can't I get on there?
Maybe we'll afterwards give her a message.
Okay, great. That would be great. I would probably win. I'll be honest.
Oh, it's so fun.
So Karis Hodges wants to know which other character would you have liked to play if you could have picked? Now, I don't know if she's talking specifically about EastEnders there. It's quite an open question, but maybe we'll go with an EastEnders character because it might
let's go with an EastEnders.
It might narrow the field.
I'd like to play Janine, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Someone asked me that and I said Joe, and they were like, "You can't because he's the boy." I was like, that wasn't part of the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to play a cool character. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any tips on starting acting as a young teen? Tips
on starting acting?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I literally have the same thing. Anytime I go like into a film school or a school, I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah. I always say that. Would I let my kids go into this industry?
No.
You've just got to have such a tough skin. I don't know how to tell you to do that or to have that, but you've just got to be so thick-skinned because it's a long road, so you have to have lots of patience.
Yeah.
You really have to believe what is meant for you will be for you, and what isn't. And you have to let things go when they don't go your way, or if you don't get an audition or all the rest of it. And enjoy it. You have to keep people what you're doing. Otherwise, it will constantly take over your life and cause you stress and anxiety, and we've all been there. You just have to take it for what it is.
And I think also try to surround yourself with people when you're that age who are like the real deal. You know, people who like are friends with you for you, and regardless of you trying to be an actor or whatever, because you're going to need them.
Yeah, and people that support you, people that really, really support you, and they're there for your highs and they're there for your lows. Yeah,
100%. Oh, good. A question about Strictly. Anna Shmee 85. I loved you on Strictly. My question is, do you still dance? And are you still friends with your partner? P.S. I loved your passo. And then one of the like dancing lady emojis.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Oh my God, you were so good on there. It was just ridiculous.
I loved it. Am I still friends with my partner?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading the comments. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, so do you still dance?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
And I guess they're talking like ballroom and Latin, not just like slut drops on the weekend.
At home for Ben, because no one else wants to watch me. No, I didn't for years after that, and then I've done a musical, Grease, where I danced a bit, and then recently I got to do the Children in Need Strictly special.
Oh yeah,
I got to dance again, and
who was your partner for that one?
Orca.
Oh wow,
yeah, he's amazing. We met, and it was like, right, on you go. Like, learn the
what, because you just thought that it was like muscle memory and you would just remember it?
Hi, Louisa, and then that was it. He was just spinning me around like I don't even know. Wow. So no, I don't still dance like any Latin or ballroom. I'd love to do another show where I get to sort of use what I've learned. Yeah,
it's just like the all-round showbiz experience, isn't it?
I love dancing so much. I wanted to be a dancer when I was little.
Yeah.
So that's why for me it was just like being able to, it's amazing. And do I still speak to Vincent? Yeah, I do. Vincent's wife actually is really good friends with my mum.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they became really good friends. So I sort of hear about what's going on with him a lot through her.
Yeah.
But we speak every now and then. Obviously.
Oh God, I'm so jealous. Can't believe it, how jealous I am. Right, well, we have got some time now. If anyone who's watching wants to ask Louisa something in the moment, something that, like, I'm just going to scroll up because like you said, you kind of end up... Did you both go to acting school? I didn't, so you can take this one.
I went to Sylvia Young, which is a secondary school, so from the age of 10 to 16. Well, because I started early, so from 10 to 16 I went. And we did academic classes, and we also did drama, dancing, singing, and all of the rest of it. But then I left there at 16, so no, I didn't go to drama school, as in university or any of it.
We kind of trained on the job, so at least in that sense, we kind of had
But
the
you
same
know what we
experience.
did?
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I said in my first episode, I don't think I could have learned what I actually know, or what I learned in those 2 years about acting on screen without doing it.
It's so difficult. People keep saying, like, a lot of my friends keep saying to me, why don't you do like a workshop or something for acting on screen? And I'm like, what do I know? They're like, that's what you've done your whole life.
Yeah.
It's funny
it's such an art, and there's such a different language as well in terms of all of the technical aspects of it, that if someone's just saying it to you, you're like, what? I don't know what. And it changes so much because of technology changing in terms of,
true.
Like back when we started out, you were still having your focus marks measured with a tape measure.
Wow,
Bad times.
Now I know how to film at a social distance. I mean,
there you go. That's true. I've missed so many. Hold on, I'm so sorry. Francesca McGovern, how do you get an agent?
It's such a hard question. So many people ask me this. I got my agent through the school that I went to, and then obviously I've been able to move to different agencies ever since because of jobs that I've had. Starting out, I guess you just have to continue to write. Try and do some sort of self-tapes if you can and send them in. Because I think agents get flooded daily with emails and letters and emails and letters. And I always think if they can actually physically see something in front of them, they might go, oh, and they might see something in you that they like.
It's about,
I don't know, because there's so many different ways in. It's not just as simple as, how do you get an agent? There's not one answer for that. And
it's so different now as well, because you can reach an audience from your bedroom. You can have a following, and you can do videos and play characters online and get noticed that way. Whereas before
lockdown, there was quite a lot of like famous actors that were doing one-on-one sessions on live. So I don't know if you saw any of that, to give people tips and just to sort of expose them in some way. And that is the thing now. You can upload videos all you want on your own social media. Crazy. Don't think I'll be doing a monologue anytime soon.
No, I can't remember the last time I even learned a monologue. God, I don't know. I literally can't remember the last time I learnt a monologue. I'm so bad at them. I'm so bad at that and lists. If I have to learn a list, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know how people who have to do medical speak do that. Oh, that's so hard to learn.
Yeah.
Ruby, Louisa, what's next for you and Martin?
Oh, I'm really not allowed to say anything. Because obviously I spoke to work and said I was doing this, and they were like, don't give anything away. And I was like, okay. But obviously I think what's known is that Stacey comes back, so I'm guessing there's going to be lots of drama surrounding that. Cool. But I hope that Ruby and Martin get to stay together. I think they're great.
So many people have been saying that. Literally, as we've been chatting, so many people have been like, oh my God, we love them.
Yeah, I think it's great. Because it's also because obviously, working with Lacey is just the best thing in the world to play Stacey. So it just means that there's then room for us to get loads of stuff together. Which is
yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
I think this is probably going to be the last question because we're running out of time. But Lady Serial has asked, how important is it to have a good network with people in the industry? It's such a hard question.
Because honestly, so many of my jobs have come through people I know. Look at the film that we did.
Yeah, exactly.
That was through someone that I knew, that you knew. But at the same time, I'm really bad at the whole networking thing. I've tried it before, especially when I went out to LA. I was so focused on it's about who you know and having sit-down chats with the right people, and I'm not good at it. I find it all a bit fake.
Yeah.
I think you either get well with someone or you don't, and don't force that. And also people it's a really difficult question. I think it's when you've worked with somebody. Sorry, you go. No, you go.
Okay, I was just going to say, when you've worked with somebody that you've vibed with, when you've worked with someone who you're like, oh, I get on with you, I've got a rapport with you. It's less about networking and more about just checking in, just being like, hey, what's going on for you right now. And that could be across the board. It doesn't have to be actors, it can be creatives, it can be people you've worked with who are in totally different departments. But if you get on with them, that's you know, that's something quite special. But I would say it's definitely about, if there's a connection with somebody, it's just keeping on their radar, just checking 100%. In every now and then.
You do have to keep it, you know, and I've done it in the past. I've emailed directors that I've worked with before, producers that I've worked with before, just been like, hey, just checking in, just see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to do that. But there are people that I could that I know would receive that email and be like, oh, it's Louisa, and not be like, oh, why is she emailing me? You know, like, you've got to be.
Yeah.
I would say, but I know some people that are all about the network and they don't really hang around with anyone but people in the industry, and that's, you know, good for them, but it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, am I still here?
Yeah, you kept freezing, but you're back.
Why am I so... Can you only see half my head?
No.
Oh, I can only see half my own head now. That's weird.
No, not at all.
I was just reporting some people who are being absolutely ridiculous on here. So
lovely. What they say.
Ain't got time for this sort of shit on here. Bye.
Why are people so mean?
It's weird. Weird. Anyway, they've been reported now for abusive content. So bye. Yeah, people are weird. Oh, cute. I love you on the bill as well. Was that before EastEnders?
No, after. So I was 18 when I the bill. I was there for 2 years, but I looked 12. It was so silly. I loved it, but when I look back now, I'm like, I look so young. Like, how is that even allowed?
Were you a cop?
Yeah. Because in real life, you can be 18. There's no height restriction, so it was legal.
PC Beth Green is iconic.
I looked really young, so it was a bit like I looked like I was dressing up.
No. Oh, well, there's a lot of love for PC Beth Green on here, that's for sure.
It's so funny.
Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up because otherwise I can't save it, and lots of people are saying, can you save this live so that so they can watch it later. But we will catch up again offline.
We have
and
to.
it would be so nice to just chat to you.
Now we can leave the house. We'll come down.
Yeah. And thank you so much for you know, coming on here and being honest and sharing your stuff.
Don't be silly. I'm just so glad you're doing it, because all we do as people is go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you're doing it. So it's great. Yeah,
it's happening. So thank you, and good luck, for when EastEnders is back on.
Yeah, thank you, and I'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. Lots of love, darling. Bye bye. Okay. So I'm going to do this now, because last week I just got so scared. I was like, that's the end. It's all gone. But I didn't tell you about who was coming up next week. And obviously that was Louisa. But next week I've got my first boy. Ooh, we're interviewing, the royal we. I have an actor who he's been in all sorts of things. He's been a lead role in huge Netflix series. He's on Netflix right now in a series, but he's known for a character that he played in a series called Game of Thrones. And it's weird because he should be known for the things that he's done that he's a bigger part in. And I want to talk to him about that, because I think that would be an interesting angle. So I'll be announcing who that guest is on probably Thursday, maybe Friday. So stay tuned, and I'll be talking to him on Monday next week, back to the usual time of 8:30. And thank you for being with us and for watching my interview with Louisa. And I will be saving it onto my grid straight after this, so you can catch up and watch it. If you want to have an update quickly about my mushrooms, because obviously I know you do, here they are. They're looking great. Also, lots of people saying about my hair. I am using Imbue products. They sent a PR box. I've been using them for 2 weeks. I've got a meeting tomorrow with Michelle, who created the brand, and I can't wait to bend her ear about their products and find out how she made such amazing stuff. And I'm going to get loads of info that I'm going to share with you all. And yeah, I can't wait. So they look, anyone who's bagging my mushrooms on here, just get out, okay? I love my mushrooms and they're my friends. And on that, I will see you all next week. I've got some other exciting videos coming up for the rest of the week, and a really, really big one next week. Obviously my IGTV as well. So it's all happening here on April J. Pearson Instagram account. And yeah, keep in touch, message me, ask some questions. Louisa's probably going to be able to answer some questions if you didn't get your question answered. And I will see you on the next one.